Well, Helene is now tearing through Georgia after making landfall in Florida overnight. Strong winds and heavy rains are pounding the Atlanta metro area, and that is where our Dave Malkoff is standing by with an update on the storm. Dave, good morning.
Hi, Anne-Marie. This is Atlanta in the north part of Georgia, and look at how high the water is here. We could expect another 3 to 5 inches of rain coming down as Helene moves over us. This apartment complex is completely underwater. In fact, Marcus and his wife Nastasha and their 3-month-old baby, they live way back there. When the rain started to come down and the flood water started to rise, there's a big creek back there that has contributed to this as well. A neighbor came down and knocked on their door, telling them, we got to get you guys out of here. We got to get you to move to higher ground. They did that. They left their car back there. He says it's probably underwater right now, and here comes the rain again. But this shows you how widespread the damage of this hurricane is. As it comes over land, it loses the power of the water, and there's a lightning flash right there. It loses the power that it sucks up from the water, but it still has the intensity and the power and the forward-moving speed to do all of this, Anne-Marie.
All right, Dave, thank you.
Helene continues to slam parts of the southeastern United States as it moves north. The deadly system was downgraded to a tropical storm earlier this morning. It made landfall last night as a Category 4 hurricane hitting Florida's Big Bend area. Helene brought winds of 140 miles an hour and a 20-foot storm surge in places. This afternoon, the storm is expected to continue to move north. So far, more than 20 storm-related deaths have been confirmed across Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp revealed earlier this morning that at least 11 people have died in his state. Let's listen.
We know that one of those was a first responder. When we ask people to stay off the roads and be patient, it's because we are trying to get to people. It is a very dangerous environment, and one of our finest has lost his life trying to save others.
CBS News national correspondent Dave Malkoff is in Atlanta tracking the storm for us. Dave, I see you there. Either you're in a different spot or the water appears to have receded since the last time we see you. What are you seeing, and is the risk of danger over?
This is the same spot, Lindsay, and if you were watching earlier today on CBS Mornings or here on 24/7, this car is a very good indicator. The water it started off right about here, and so you can see how much of the water has receded. But Lindsay, we are 274 miles away from where it made landfall. We are in Atlanta. We are in North Georgia, and this entire parking lot is underwater. Now, you were at a hotel last night, right? And so you had a dog or a cat with you?
2 cats and 2 dogs.
2 cats and 2 dogs, and she's moving it back and forth. And he's just helping people. He happens to have the canoe, and he's moving people back and forth. Now, what's happening is I can walk through this, but I've got these chest waders that go all the way up here. Nobody else wants to walk through that. I am protected up to here, not just from the water, but from any ants or anything that would be over here. I never put my hands in the water. So nobody else wants to be walking through all this. It's frankly kind of dangerous if you walk into the deeper areas. So that's why they have the canoe. She's going back and forth with those dogs, with those cats. Lindsay, this is an ongoing situation right here in the city of Atlanta. Think of how far that is away from landfall.
Wow. I just have to go back to that scene that we just witnessed with the gentleman who has the canoe and who's helping. I mean, that is a moment there of neighbors helping neighbors, people stepping in. I mean, is that a lot of what you're seeing around you, Dave?
Absolutely. He's kind of soft-spoken. He doesn't want to talk too much about it, but he's loading a dog, and you'll see that just in a second as he pushes back here. He's loading a dog into the canoe, and they'll push forward and actually have that dog go back there. In just a moment, I saw a guy holding his big German Shepherd. His German Shepherd's name is Tupac, and Tupac was trying to keep his head up, out of the water. That's a Tupac joke. There's also some people who are inside this apartment back here. who were on their bed. So Selena was on her bed and she was sleeping at the time, and then she woke up floating in her apartment. And she thought, what a weird dream is this? What a weird nightmare. And then she realized that that wasn't a dream or a nightmare at all. That was real life. And she's never seen anything like this. It has been a very long time since Atlanta has seen any kind of impact from a tropical storm. That shows you just how widespread the damage is. What's your dog's name? Ruger. And how long have you lived here?
About a year and a half.
You ever seen anything like this before?
Not at all.
Did you ever expect a tropical storm to come through here and make you have to go through your own neighborhood on a boat?
No, not like this. Not at all.
But
I knew it would have, been flooding, but not to this capacity at all.
wow, this is something else. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're okay, and kudos to this guy here who really is helping out the entire neighborhood, getting people in and out. It gets way deeper, and you see him getting into the canoe here. It gets way deeper as you go deeper into the apartment complex. Lindsay, it has come down, but it really hasn't receded all that much, because down there, the cars are still underwater up to their wheel wells. So we've got this. We've got 2 deaths that have happened so far in Georgia. That's the 3 deaths so far in this storm. What I know about that is we had a mobile home that was overturned, and that was why those people died just south of here in, I believe, one of the counties that is just 3 hours away from Atlanta. But as it pushed over here, it was still retaining its hurricane strength into southern Georgia. Then as it lost its power source, which is the water that is heated by human-caused climate change, it doesn't have that power source, and it has the ground that kind of eats it up. And so it breaks up the inner portion of it, the eye wall, the most powerful part of the storm, and it just actually dissipates. But it's still moving north of us, into Virginia, into the Carolinas, Lindsay.
North Carolina now bracing for intense rainfall this weekend, telling residents to just assume that all the roads are closed. Dave Malkoff, no one can bring us these kind of stories like you can. And we also appreciate, sometimes people sort of poke fun at journalists who are in the water when you see just a few steps ahead of you that it's not quite as flooded. But it's just like you said, you don't want to touch the water. You don't want to get in there. And it's great to see neighbors who are just stepping in to do what is needed. Dave, thank you to you and your crew.
Thanks a lot, Lindsay.
Yeah. Look at all these laying over.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some real.
There's your one.